Third Street.
That's the
That's
same
what I'm
one she's talking
talking
about.
I'm talking about the 40 acres that's up here on the hill. Which direction is it? I'm
That
bad
way.
directions that way.
Southwest.
So don't you own that
Yeah.
land that's around?
At 40 acres.
40 acres and we're
Okay.
leasing
Used to be
that
the
out right
used to be
now.
the garbage dump, back
Yeah.
when we had a garbage dump.
Yeah,
And I've been told it was a dump, and
Yeah.
it can't be built on.
You can build on it.
There's another option, and I mentioned this before. This will sound crazy, but if you offer that property to Habitat for Humanity, with the understanding that you'll have to put in the roads, water, sewer, etc., and charge for that, you can open up a big area to small family housing for people that could get funding to buy the house. And you already own the land, it's just sitting there.
well, I think right now we're leasing it out
It's
to
leased out, yeah.
grazing, yeah.
But not for
That's
very
just
much.
about what
No.
it's good for.
And who's it leased
Yeah.
out
I'd say
to?
you go digging a foundation, you're gonna be battling a bear there.
Right, yeah.
But we don't know that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
buried
there's-
there
There's
It's
a,
there.
there's a lot
to
of
reclaim
I'm sure
that.
there is.
stuff out there.
I'm sure there is. But are you gonna leave it like that for the next 30 years?
I don't know, I don't plan on being here for 30 years.
Oh, we'll re-elect you.
Oh, yeah, right, uh-huh.
I do. I plan on being.
We tried to sell that. We've advertised that several times, and with no luck. Or we get some like $20,000 bid on it, you know. You can't do that.
But it might be possible to turn it into an
If you've
asset.
got the money to come up with the streets and the water and the sewer and the gas, all of that, that takes a lot of money.
It's not a very.
I mean, that's a
hospitable
long
48.
ways out from the sewer line down here.
Yeah, the infrastructure for that.
The infrastructure would be, oh my God, it's unreal the cost. that
Oh, it would be expensive. But there are other things that can be done with that land.
Oh, yeah,
This isn't
yeah.
there.
And rather than leave it vacant or rent it out to somebody to raise a crop on it,
No, I think right now they got cows on it.
There's no way to raise a crop on
well, they did last year.
it. No,
No.
they didn't. We're talking the old landfill up there.
Yeah, not
Talking-
this.
Yeah, we're
Down
not
here.
talking
Yeah,
about
it-
here.
And they
No,
haven't
not
raised
this
a crop
one.
down here since George quit farming it.
No, this is at 40 acres south of town here.
Yeah, this was
A
like
couple
about
miles
a
out
half,
of town.
about a mile, was it on
The
Goldie?
land you're
Yeah.
thinking about is
Yeah.
where the burn pit is, down,
Yeah, this is a different
Yeah.
one, you know.
Just
down
down
east.
off Third Street.
Yeah,
We did,
That's
that's
what
what
I'm thinking about.
Lisa
Oh.
is at now.
Yeah,
we
she
sold
bought that.
Did you? Oh, well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Cancel
I
that,
actually didn't buy it, but.
cancel that entire conversation.
So it does
Don't
have a
let you have a
future.
garden. yet.
Any more
I
questions?
have no more.
The only thing I'd ask, if anybody that's here wants to ask anything, fire away, it's here.
I have a question for Lisa. So you talked about a lot of changes for the town. How exactly would you accomplish making those changes? What would you do to make Fromberg this nicer place where people would be wanting to come to? How would you see the city council addressing that?
For the city council, I think there's a couple different things you could do. One, I think we need to stop altering from our zoning. There have been a couple instances where we went outside what the zoning was and we granted variances for things like businesses in residential areas, putting residential in business areas. You're never gonna get anywhere encouraging businesses to move into town if they've got a residential house sitting next to them on a commercial lot. I think things like that are absolutely necessary. Zoning is there for a reason, and I think we need to stick to that. Same thing when you get into granting variances for people to put, modulars or mobiles on land that maybe there's not enough room for them to do. I know recently they've been more stringent about where they go, but in the past, those things have not been adhered to, and because of that, we've got some trailer parks that are not even close to being fire safe or in the regulations that they're required to be in. I think we need to take the steps to move forward to say, you know what, no, we're not gonna go in and start demoing houses, but we are gonna say, you can't keep improving this property, it's beyond that point. You know, when it reaches the point where it is at the end of its, you know, usable life, it needs to go away and not be replaced. You know, until you can bring that entire area up into the codes and the zones that it needs to be in. So I think there's a lot of things that the town can do to make sure that we're growing in the right direction. And again, I think we've survived for a very long time on making accommodations because it was all we had. And I think we're past that. I don't think we need to do that anymore. I think the businesses are out there, the private owners are out there. They're going to come as long as we make it a great place for them to live. I don't think we need to make accommodations to downgrade our neighborhoods anymore just to get people into town.
Anything else?
I'd like to ask Kathleen what her ideas are. I haven't heard her have a much of a chance of, is that Kathleen? Is that your name?
Lisa.
No, not Lisa. Heather, I'm sorry. Heather, I'm sorry. Heather, I'm sorry. But I'd like to know, I mean, you haven't hardly got to say anything, and I'd like to know what your ideas are.
But why are you running for the city
Yeah, what would you
council,
like to do?
basically?
I want to be a part of where my kids are growing up. My children are going to grow up here. They're going to graduate. They're going to go to college. But they live here in the time being. I want to be a part of making sure it's safe and basically just safe. But I want to be more into Fromberg instead of, like I said, I know everything about Bridger. I want to know more about where I live.
Do you work in Bridger?
I work at the Bridger Elementary School
Oh, okay,
right now. So.
okay.
Yeah, and then during the summer, I work for the Public Works Department for their summer help over in Bridger. So
You're
I know a lot about Bridger.
Okay, well, I just wondered because everybody else has kind of said their piece and it didn't sound like you had much of a chance to put your ideas out there. And I wanted to give you a chance for that. And
Thank you very much.
No, actually, no. Okay, so I'll go ahead and ask one more question since I'm not taking up everyone's time. So I wanted to know, and this is for everybody, whoever would like to answer, do you think that all city officials should have to pass a background check before they can take their office?
Yes.
Hurt. I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but it doesn't, I don't have anything to hide, so I don't really care.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't think there's any problem. There's a small fee that goes along with doing background checks, but I don't think that would be a bad idea.
I thought they did that anyway. See how much I need?
I think you just have to specify what it is you're looking for. You know,
Right.
Is there something specific that if it comes out, they're not going to be
Well,
eligible?
normally if you do a background check, you're looking for any kind of criminal record or
Yeah.
credit, a credit background. If you have poor credit, or if you've been
Your
used
poor
of
credit
something.
shouldn't affect anybody's business
I
but
don't
your
think
own.
it should either,
Yeah, just a
as
criminal.
long as you're not dealing poorly with
As
the,
long as you're not a convicted drug
the town.
peddler, pedophile,
And that's what you'd have
All
to do.
that.
You'd have to have a statute that said,
your
these are the
personal
things you
business
have
is your
to
personal
do.
business.
Right.
Otherwise, it's a moot point.
And there is a Montana state code for that. I mean, as far as background checks are concerned, they have
They
to
do-
follow that code
They
when
do
they.
background checks at schools when they hire,
Right,
or supposed to.
yeah. And most of the time they do, I think.
Most of the time, they've slipped up a couple.
Well, everybody has.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not infallible, any of us, so
They never checked on me and I snuck it.
that's because they knew you. Any other questions?
Sorry, I always have a lot of questions. I was wanting to know, Keith, what is your reason for wanting to run for city council, and what do you see, things that you would want to see done differently?
Well, like I said, public safety is top priority to me. Everybody getting along with everybody.
And you can't make people do that, that would be nice.
Yeah, you can. You got a bullwhip.
Right.
Anyways, no. Yeah, I would like to see the town grow, but it's gonna take a long time. It's not gonna be an overnight thing. And I've been here 6 years come September.
So what kinds of things do you see the city council doing to make it safer here and to make people to get along? What do you see the city council doing in the future to make that happen?
Well, not to sound biased, at least they got rid of one person. But, that said, I think the council should pay attention to the roads, the conditions of the roads, because that's safety too. And try to make it safe for people to walk and the kids to play. As far as the growth is concerned, that's, like I said, that's gonna be a long-term thing. It can't be done overnight. And as low income this town has, there's not much they can give for an incentive right now for any growth.
Believe me, we couldn't get an incentive for an ant to build a farm if we had to, you know, that's just the way it is right now.
I don't know.
Any other questions from you guys? Anybody else?
Remember, I'm on the mod squad.
Okay.
Town Improvement Committee.
Are you?
They call us the mod squad.
Are you on the town improvement committee? The property
Carol.
improvement?
No, down at Carroll's, that one.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Well, if that's all the questions, I think what we'll do is, we'll let the council talk it over, you guys, and, we will let you know, probably by Friday afternoon. So I'll be sending either a letter or calling each one of you. And let you know.
I thought we was gonna find out tonight, that's why I showed up.
Oh,
It's like on TV when there's the to be continued.
yes.
We have to put our names in a hat.
That would be those two would have to agree.
That'd be a good idea.
Surely, a phone call's good enough. Don't take the time
Okay.
for a letter.
Yeah, you got my number, so.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Would anybody like to stop here since the girls ran around in 5750? At least I can't remember.
Hi, Heather.
Now, that was a short meeting. I like that meeting.
Yeah, you just switch that to Monday night, so.
Well, I think.
He walked all night.
He walked his streets,
Yeah.
actually walked.
See what happens when you quit drinking?
That steady up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh God, let's see,
Knocked himself in the back
it's been
seat.
so many years ago that I don't even remember all the goofy stuff we did. I remember drag racing down the street with Tony Faust and, Schlemmer, Larry Schlemmer.
We tried to put chickens in Tony's cop car out here. And he came out to the door. So we got the hell out of town. He found us. We just catch all the chickens and return them where we borrowed them.
When
Was you on us that night?
We didn't get them
When
in
I
Tony's
got
car.
married and
But I
left.
watched you return them, Jerry.
Yeah. We won't go there.
Yeah,
Couple with a limp neck.
Yeah. No neck. I better get out of here. See you guys later.
You might go back to this chicken coop. Throw it in like this.
my mom thought you were,
Jerry's going behind him like this.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, my mom thought you were just the greatest thing since sliced bread. And she worked with you at the Mary Ann, you remember Mary Ann?
Mary Ann.
Hayesville?
Oh, yeah. I worked with Mary Ann a lot, did a lot of stuff with her after.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's great.
yeah, she thought you were pretty great
We'll
too.
be waiting for you.
I was just
Okay.
saying, Bridger for,
Is that off now?
I knew everybody in Bridger, they knew me, but I'm going back and forth.